Good morning students, myself Gauri Vadkar and I am going to deliver the topic today. I am going to deliver the topic name is optics. And what is meant by optics? Optics is nothing but the science of light. In this topic we will discuss with various factors like what is meant by optics, then what is the history behind it, after that what is meant by light, various light phenomenon, then after that fundamental laws of the light, then after total internal reflection. Then what is meant by optics? Optics is nothing but the science of light. Whatever we see in the nature, in environment, here in the classroom is only because of the light. Light makes the object visible to us due to the stimulation of retina of our eye. Whatever we see in the nature is due to the only light. Then in this topic we will discuss with various phenomena like reflection, diffraction, total internal reflection, polarization, such a kind of various phenomenon. Light, then how it is made up of, from what materials or from what it is made up of. Then light is made up of photons. Photons are nothing but the bundle of energy or the energy packets. Light is made up of photons. Then photons are nothing but the bundle of energy or it is energy packets. Then light requires medium to travel, or without medium can also light, or without medium light can travel. Means for the propagation it requires medium, or without medium also light can travel. Means with or without medium. Then what is the speed of light, with which velocity it can travel. Then approximate, then proper value of the speed of light is 299792,458 meter per second. This is the correct value of the speed of light, but we can approximate it into the 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Students, we have to keep in mind this value. This will we have to use this value in many numericals. That is, speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. This is the maximum possible speed for any object with which any object can travel. Beyond this speed, no one object can travel. Then after that we will see the history behind it. What is the history behind it? What is the, means how it is invented that light is having this much speed and various properties of light. At the 20th century, it was proposed that light is having electromagnetic nature. At the 20th century, it was proposed, scientists proposed that light is having electromagnetic nature. Electromagnetic means what? Electromagnetic waves are the waves in which electric and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. Suppose this is electric field, this is the direction of electric field E bar, and then this is the direction of magnetic field B bar. Electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other in the electromagnetic waves. Then after that, quantum theory was established. After that, quantum theory was established, and according to quantum theory, scientists propose that light is having particle nature, and these particles are nothing but the photons. Photons. Light travels in the form of photons. Means energy. Propagation of energy takes place with the help of particles, and these particles are nothing but the photons, according to the quantum theory. After some experiments, it was proposed that by doing some experiments, it was proposed that light is having dual nature. Means dual means light is having particle nature as well as wave nature. First, according to quantum theory, it was established that light is having particle nature only. but after some experiments it was discovered that light is having wave nature, means dual nature of light. We will study this, means you will study how the light is having particle nature as well as wave nature in further your lectures in 11th and 12th standard. Then our next topic is phenomenon related to light. There are the various phenomena, light phenomena are related, which are divided into the three types. Light phenomenon. First one is ray optics or geometrical optics. First one is ray optics, or it is also called as the geometrical optics. Second one is wave optics or physical optics, and third one is particle nature of light. There are the various light phenomena which are divided into three categories: ray optics or ray optics, then second one is wave optics, and third one is particle nature of light. In the ray optics, this is the propagation of light. It is the ray of light. In this direction, propagation of energy or photons takes place. Then propagation of energy in one direction is called as ray of light. By using the ray optic and the study of these rays is called as ray optics. By using ray optics, we study the phenomena like reflection, refraction, total internal reflection, polarization. Then by using wave optics is also called as physical optics. By using the wave optics, means in this optics we study the nature of light related to wave. By using these optics, we can study the phenomena like interference, diffraction, polarization, such a kind of phenomenon. By using the particle nature of light, by using the particle nature of light, we study the Compton effect. After that, spectral line study of light, photoelectric effect. This kind of effects are studied by using the particle nature of light. After then fundamental laws. Our next topic is fundamental laws. And what are the fundamental laws? First law. What is the first fundamental law? Light travels in the straight line. Light always travels in straight line in homogeneous and isotropic medium. Light travels in the straight line. This is the straight line, direction of the light propagation. While light does not travel in this way, zigzag manner, or like this, or in this way. Light always travels in the straight line in homogeneous and isotropic medium. What is homogeneous? Homogeneous and isotropic medium. Homo and iso means same. Wording is same. Homo means same and iso also. Iso means same. Homogeneous means properties of light are same at every point in a medium, means homogeneous, and isotropic means properties of the medium are same in all the direction in a given medium. Suppose this is the homogeneous medium, then properties of light are same at any point in the direction of light. And suppose this is the isotropic medium, then properties of light are same in any direction means in this direction, in any direction properties of light are same. Second is reflection. Then what is meant by reflection? Reflection is nothing but when ray of light incident on any opaque transparent medium, then it gets reflected back into the same medium. It is called as reflection of light. Suppose this is a glass surface whose outer part is coated with any material, some material, and this is the instant ray of light which is instant at the glass surface, which is opaque, transparent. We draw here normal at the angle of incidence. This incident light ray makes an angle I with this normal which is drawn to the interface. Then this instant light ray, when instant on the glass surface, it gets reflected back into the same medium by making angle R, and this angle is called as angle of reflection. This is called as reflection phenomenon. In the reflection, there are the various laws related to the reflection, in which incident light ray, normal, and the reflected light ray lies always in the same plane. Same plane means this is the plane, one plane, 3-dimensional image, 2-dimensional image, 1-dimensional image in a one plane. Means suppose this is light ray instant in x plane. There are suppose this is the x direction, this is y and z. If the light ray is instant on the normal at the interface, at the boundary of the plane mirror, then it gets reflected back into the same medium, is called as a reflection. Incident light ray and reflected light ray. Second law is what? Incident light ray and reflected light ray always lies on the opposite sides of the normal. And third one is angle of incidence I is equal to angle of reflection R. Angle of incidence and angle of reflection are always same in the reflection. This is the important law in the reflection. After that, we have studied refraction. We will study now the refraction. In the refraction, when ray of light incident at the boundaries of the two media, medium 1 and medium 2, when ray of light incident at the boundaries of the two media, the ray of light get refracted into the another media. While in the reflection, ray of light reflected into the same media, while in the refraction, ray of light get refracted into the another media. Suppose this is the boundary between the medium 1 and medium 2. This is the medium 1. And this is the medium 2. Suppose this is air medium and this is the glass medium, then this is the interface between the two media or boundary between the two media. We draw here normal. This is the incident light ray. When light ray incident at the normal at the boundaries of the two media, then this incident light ray get refracted into the another medium. It is called as the refraction. This is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. This is normal. Means in refraction, instant light ray changes its medium after refraction, while in the reflection, instant light ray do not change its medium, but it reflected back into the same medium. Then for refraction, there are the various laws related to refraction. First important law is Snell's law. Snell's law. Suppose medium 1 is having refractive index mu1 and medium 2 is having refractive index mu2. Refractive index is nothing but the property of the medium, one of the property of medium. Then by using Snell's law we can we have the law as mu2 upon mu1 is equal to sin I upon sin R. This is one of the important relation we have to use in numericals. Mu2 upon mu1 is equal to sin I upon sin R. Our next topic is total internal reflection. In the total internal reflection, what is meant by total internal reflection? It is the light phenomenon in which when the angle of incidence greater than the critical angle, then we get totally internally reflected light rays. When angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, we get totally internal reflected light rays instead of refraction. Is called as total internal reflection. We have to draw here figure. Suppose this is incident light ray, this is the glass slab. Suppose this is the glass slab and this is the air medium. It is also the air medium. This is the incident light ray which is incident at the normal. It get refracted into the glass slab. Which makes an angle I1, Then this light ray gets reflected into this glass slab and it reaches the boundary of the glass slab. At this boundary, the same light ray there is partial reflection takes place as well as partial refraction also takes place. Some part of light ray get reflected back into the same medium, while the some part of light ray get refracted into the another medium, which makes an angle I with the normal, and this is the angle of refraction. Here partial reflection takes place, so we can say this as small r reflection, angle of reflection. We change the angle of incidence again, we increase the angle of incidence at the interface. We are started to increase the angle of incidence. This is I1, this is I2. As the angle of incidence increases, some part of light ray here at the boundary of the two media, air and glass media, there is some light ray get refracted, while some light rays get reflected into the same media. With increasing angle of incidence, angle of refraction also increased. Again we increase the angle of incidence. As we increase this angle of incidence, I1, I2 is greater than I1 and I3 is also greater than I2. Then we reaches at a particular angle which is called as critical angle. At this critical angle IC, we get angle of refraction. As the angle of incidence increases, angle of refraction also increases. At this particular critical angle, we get angle of refraction is equal to 90 degree. R3 is equal to 90 degree. At this angle of incidence we get angle of refraction is equal to 90 degree. Critical angle is the angle of incidence in the denser medium for which we get refracted angle is equal to 90 degree. This is the one of the property useful for total internal reflection. As the angle of incidence increased beyond critical angle, we get total internal reflection. We increase the angle of incidence which is greater than critical angle. We increase the angle of incidence I4 greater than IC. Angle of incidence greater than critical angle, we get totally internal reflected light ray. These light rays are totally internally reflected, and these light rays are called totally internally reflected rays. These light rays are nothing but the total internally reflected light rays. Here is 0 refraction takes place and 100% reflection takes place. Means as the angle of incidence increase beyond critical angle, complete reflection takes place. There is no refraction. Means what for in the total internal reflection we get 0 refraction and 100% reflection or total reflection. After that we have to we are using Snell's law here. By using Snell's law, what is meant by Snell's law? Mu2 upon mu1 is equal to sin I upon sin R. This is the Snell's law. Suppose air is having refractive index mu1, glass is having refractive index mu2, again air is having refractive index mu1. Then by using Snell's law we get mu2 into sin R is equal to mu1 into sin I. Here mu1 is the refractive index of air and mu2 is the refractive index of glass. Refractive index of air mu1 is equal to 1. So we get mu2 into sin R is equal to sin I. But sin I means sin IC, critical angle IC. See? So we get the formula as mu into sin IC is equal to 1. Mu into sin IC is equal to 1. Here is a sin R is equal to 90 degree for the critical angle. Do you understand, students, what is meant by total internal reflection? In the total internal reflection we get at angle of incidence greater than the critical angle, we get completely reflected light rays into the same medium. It is called as total internal reflection. Thank you. We will stop here.